Hey, what is going on guys? My name is Scotty. Welcome back to a brand new Call of Duty Warzone video. In today's video guys, we're going to be checking out an easy strat for the newer players or the players who are struggling to get the nuke in Rebirth Island. And this strat is a little bit different than the way that most people who are good at the game do it. So I'll be going over all the tips and tricks for getting the nuke. The method I'm using for this one is one that, as I said, is good for people who struggle to get kills, struggle to do the nuke itself, or anything like that. While the normal nuke for Rebirth revolves around getting a lot of kills, knocks, interrogations, and finishes, this one relies more on doing the contracts to get money and how to actually have this money pretty much give you all three elements. But before we get into the video, if you need help finding good players to play with, whether you yourself are a good player or not, or you need help doing your nuke contract, feel free to join my Discord. The link is down below in the description. We've had a lot of people bring over their contracts to us and we've helped them do it, so that is definitely the place to be. Welcome back to the channel for my returning subscribers, and a warm welcome for the new ones as well. So guys, like I said, this video is going to go over an easier way to do the Rebirth nuke for people who are actually struggling with getting it completed. It's going to go from start to finish of the game, and I think I'm covering pretty much every single thing that you should be doing as a player who wants to get the nuke done while you're struggling to do it. So without further ado, let's get right into the strategy. So the first part is the pre-game planning. There's a couple main different roles that each player is going to have to play at the start of the game. So before you guys start, make sure you guys pretty much categorize who's going to be grabbing the phone in grandma's, who's going to be grabbing the specialists in the shower at bio, and then the other two people are going to land stronghold. They're going to have to clear out any enemies that are there, and as well do all the contracts that are there. Before you guys start going into the lobbies, make sure you guys are warmed up, you guys are ready to go, because it's going to be really hard to start getting this nuke done if everyone's not locked in. Now the next part is finding the right lobby. What some people do when they don't know how to do a nuke is they'll just go straight into the first game, land straight down on the nuke, pick it up, and then realize from there that the game is chalked. You should never pick up the contract until you guys are 100% locked in, you have enough money, and you have all the resources to pick up the elements. So the first thing you have to do is search for a good stronghold. Keep backing out of games once the game starts up, because you're going to want to see which stronghold has great contracts to do. Things like the drones, the intel hacks, and stuff like that. The more contracts that are over at stronghold that can give you easy and quick money, the better. You want to avoid bounties, because if the team starts running away, that can interfere with getting your nuke itself. So as I said, doing the drones, doing the intelligence hacks, doing the signal intels, those will be some of the best ones they can do for quick, easy money. Now, if all that looks good, as I said, two people land stronghold, one land phone, one land specialist. The person over at phone can get the other key cards around there too for extra money and loot. But as the phone and the specialist guys are doing their thing, the two people in stronghold have to keep getting all those contracts done. They have to keep getting money and making sure that everything is going good. Now, if everyone was able to grab specialist, able to grab phone, able to grab all the extra key cards around the map, you guys gotta make sure for this method you have at least 150k or so, because that's gonna help you guys start out that contract very easily. And if you guys have all that done, you have a really good amount of money. The last thing you gotta want to pay attention to is how many teams are still alive, because before you pick up that contract, you're going to want to make sure there's still 10 or 9 teams at minimum, because if you pick up that contract with 5 teams remaining, it's going to be very rough because everyone's gonna get wiped out and that last team is gonna come straight for you guys, and it's gonna be pretty hard to get a nuke going when there's only 1 team left. And if by that point everything looks good that I just mentioned, you have until the first circle is done closing to pick up that contract. So now that the contract is picked up, you have 2 different methods you can do. The easier one for better players is obviously getting kills, getting knocks, interrogating, and assassinating to get that timer down. You want to get that timer as low as possible before the first fire sale. If you can get that timer dropped all the way down before fire sale starts, that is amazing. But besides doing the killing, another thing you can do is keep looting money, keep opening boxes, keep doing all these various things to make sure you get your keycards scanned. And if you're able to get like 250k by the time fire sale starts, you can burn 2 elements out right there. So now that you got over 250k or so, find a great spot for fire sale. You're going to want to go to a place that has pretty good cover, not in the open, and you're able to get a good view of anyone who might be pushing. The one I normally do is the one down by factory, or sometimes even control center if we got that wiped out. But once fire sale starts, 3 of your teammates are going to need to spam by plates to get that timer down to 0. One person should always have no money and be watching to make sure no one's pushing, to be seeing where exactly everyone's coming from. And if you did those drones at the start of the match, you'll have advanced UAVs, so pop one of those to see if anyone's pushing you, because you're going to want to stay aware and alert your team if anyone's pushing. Throwing smokes on them too will always be a great addition in case anyone has ghosts. And once that timer goes down to 0, everyone needs to stop. They gotta let that element drop. Once that element is picked up, you can resume spam buying plates. You'll have enough money to get this one done too, so keep burning it out. Even if fire sale ends, you should be very close to getting that element done. And from my experiences with the money strat, by the time fire sale ends and the second element is done and dropped, you should still have a pretty good amount of money left and some good time to keep getting more money. So if you have 2 elements dropped and there's still enough players alive, push a couple teams, get some knocks, get some finishes, open chests, get some money, interrogate, assassinate, do whatever you can to get that timer down, because that third timer is going to be the trickiest one. But with the money strat, while adding more money from all these techniques, you should be able to get that third element as well. So even if fire sale is done, throw all your money at it, get that money all out the window, and if done correctly, third element will drop. And now that you have all 3 elements there, the next thing you want to do is make sure you guys have gas masks or PDS systems to invert the storm. And once that bomb site does drop, you're going to want to throw some smokes at it, get some UAVs up, have someone deposit all the elements. And as he's doing that, make sure you guys are just covering him, distracting other teams, because at this point there might not be many teams alive. So they're going to try pushing you while also fighting others. So distract them as much as you can, get that bomb planted, and once that bomb is planted, all you're going to need to do is either stay alive or wipe out the whole lobby. If the whole lobby is wiped out, the timer will go down to 5 seconds and it'll be instantly popped. So if all of this is done correctly, you now have your first successful rebirth nuke. It can take a couple tries. It is very tough, especially if you're with a team that doesn't really know what they're doing. But I've used this method a lot to help people who aren't really the greatest at getting nukes to get their nuke. So I can vouch for this. But here we have it, guys. This is the easy rebirth strat for beginners. Hopefully you guys take notes. Hopefully you guys find this video informative. And hopefully you guys can get your first successful rebirth nuke with help from this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe as well for all things Call of Duty Warzone here on the channel. That's wrapped up for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy watching. Best of luck with your rebirth nukes. My name is Scotty. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day.